So, hey guys. I'm dying already because this is one of the most awkward, funniest things that I've done. Okay, so this is the first in like 12 videos. Oh, I don't know, it depends how it goes. I would say, first of all, I'm sick, so I'm drinking some honey and lemon. I don't have the vid. I just... My goodness, Cassandra. I don't have the vid. I would just say, like, I caught, like, I don't know, I think some kind of chest infection. Loads of us got a cold because we had, like, our first, like, outing properly. Going to a convention. I was safe, did all the things beforehand, but I think our immune system's run down. But anyway, that's not what this is about. Basically, I was challenged to do a dating challenge by my friend because I admit I am not open to dating, but I want to date. I would like a relationship. I just don't like people. I don't like doing the long things. I hate having to do things that I feel are awkward. And also what would happen is that I start talking to people and then I just don't speak to them. And then I just like long it off and I need to do stuff. So I was given a challenge of going out. We're going to be doing my face and whatever whilst we're doing this. Of going out on giving people chances, saying yes to dates. So when people ask me, say yes to them as long as I'm safe. Even if they're not my type, or even if I would have cut them off usually, trying to get past that because my block button is a bit too strong. So that's what I am and will be doing. I've done date one. Oh my god. Date one started with shambles, and that's what today's about. So I have questions from my community. The way I'm going to do this, I haven't done anything like this before. I haven't watched videos if anyone has done anything like it. We're just going to blag it. So, you know, you work with me. I look terrible, one, because I'm sick and I haven't had any sleep. And two, because I'm going to be doing like this skull makeup look. Probably won't finish it whilst we're doing it, but we can get through it whilst we're here. So, I have really dark bits underneath my eyes at the moment. Just because I'm not feeling the greatest, but I really wanted to do this. I wanted us to have the tea. Okay, alright, so the rules of the thing is I have to make effort to go to the dates. If the dates cancel on me, and I haven't made them cancel on me because apparently that's something that I would do if I don't want to go out with them, then that means that I satisfied trying to do the dates, firstly. Second of all, I have to I have to make it clear, like, that is the date. All the person has to say it's a date. I can't just go out with a friend and be like, yeah, I went on a date. What else? And I think that's pretty much it. All right. So, right. Okay. Let's get into it. Yeah. If you guys want to know more about the rules for the date, or if you've got any advice on how I can do this, I would love to hear about it, because, like, I wasn't sure. Okay. Oh yeah. Other things is like basically telling people where I'm going, what I'm doing, because dating is wild right now. And meeting people is crazy. So yeah. Right. So let me just get into what happened on the first date. So my first date that I had is a guy. I'm actually surprised that he was so patient with me. We'd been talking before, and like I probably didn't respond to him for like, I want to say like 10 months. I don't know. Probably like 10 months. I put too much on there. This should be fine. Okay, so probably for like 10 months, we didn't speak, because I just stopped responding. And I was thinking about why I did this, and I think that it was his own fault why I didn't respond. I know what I like, what I don't like, and I think I don't know, I think he did something to put me off. I like someone that I can be really open with, as in like I don't have to filter. Like, I don't want to play games. Like, if I'm like, oh, hey, I was thinking about you today, I can say that. It wasn't anything like that, but I think we'd been talking a lot during the week, and I was like, oh, do you know what? Let me just let him do his own thing for the weekend or whatever. If he hollers at me, like, he'll holler at me. So he sent me a message, and he was like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, I'm good. And I was like, you know what? I just was like, oh, we've been talking so much, so it was just kind of to let you have like some chill time, whatever. Anyway, he was really weird about that. I don't know. He got really weird, and he was like, okay, cool. And then he didn't talk to me for like a week. And then he was like, yeah, I had to do that because I could tell you were getting attached. And I was like, child, what? So anyway, I don't know. That kind of put me off him. And also, yeah, I wasn't really ready to go outside, and he was. So fast forward past all of this bit. Finally, when my friend set up the challenge, I was like, okay, how am I going to get 12 fucking dates in the first place? I have to be open and start actually responding to people on Tinder. Instead of like matching and being like, oh, this is awkward. So with him, we'd already been speaking. So then like I messaged him and I was like, hey, so sorry, haven't spoken for like 10 months. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Do you want to meet up? I was kind of nervous, but I felt like it was going to be good for the first date to do that with him, because obviously, like, he's someone that I'd been speaking to and I was comfortable with, and I didn't really feel too much pressure from, because of, like, things that he'd said. Like, I don't think that he's for commitment. I don't think necessarily, like, he was, like, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't get the serious vibe with him when it came to me, because he was just like, he doesn't like kids. He likes being by himself. Everything that he said wasn't giving me like, oh, like, yeah, I'm talking to you because I would like to be with you in a settled relationship. And everything that we'd spoken about had been like a little bit like sexual as well. So, you know, I felt like it wasn't too much pressure. So the date. Okay. The questions that I've got at the moment, I'm going to do it based on questions, as you know, because I've got to go on tangents. Right. First question was, okay. What expectations did I have? Okay. Like I said, my expectations for the date were pretty low. My biggest concern was like, what if I meet up with them and they don't think like I'm as hot in person, blah blah blah, whatever, because this is a first date and we'd met on Tinder, we've spoken on Tinder and it was cool. And like and most of the time, like when I like talk to guys, they're either proper like flattering or like they're not. So I know about people that are like speaking like, hey, oh my gosh, you're so like blah blah, like you're my type, whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool. But he'd never really done that. So we met up. The date was record because my mum called me, obviously. Right, so yeah, my first 3 impressions of him. Next question. I spent a lot of time like not looking at him because I felt really awkward. And I remember one of the things that I know this is such a small thing to notice, but like one of the last things that he did was that he'd done a triathlon, and oh my god, what is going on with my skin, honey? He did a triathlon, and in the pictures he had taken pictures of him in the cycling shorts. And I'm like, okay, I know that's such a little thing to notice, but I was just like, your legs look very small. You have like, Alexa, I'm not even talking to you, mind your business.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
I wasn't talking. Okay, anyway. So, he had thick thighs. That's one of the first. I never thought that I would notice someone's size, but I remember thinking he has thick thighs. So, like, when he pulled up on me, I was obviously like looking down. So I was just like, that looks like a fucking seat. Okay, alright, no, we're not. So that the second thing that I noticed was that he had like quite a nice smile. Yeah, and the third one, I know this is such a random thing to like, but I really like hands, like big hands. So I noticed that he had big hands. So those are the first three things that I noticed. Right, what's the next question? Okay, so what happened on the date? Right, the actual date. So, first of all, when I got there, I hadn't eaten. I didn't know what to do. My excuse for when I wanted to leave was that I needed to go home to eat. I spent ages getting there. I'd got there late, so I spent so much time panicking that when we were getting close, I was like, to my cab driver, I was like, I can't do this. My Uber driver was like, what? And I was like, I've got a date, I can't do it. He's like, no, you're going to be fine, don't worry. And I was like, oh, I haven't been on a date for like ages, like in maybe a year or so, like what do I need to do? And he was like, it's fine, do you want me to come back? And I was like, yeah, the cab driver was kind of cute as well. I was like, yeah, do you want to come back one night? So then he was like, okay, no, you're going to be fine. And I was like, all right, he was like, I'm going to come back in half an hour and see if you're safe. And I thought that was really sweet, but also it's kind of my fault because I decided to be an hour late for the date. To be fair, I would say that the date time hadn't been confirmed, so I need like an exact hour to get ready. And then the Uber drivers, like Uber's shit in London at the moment, so the Ubers weren't coming as well, so that didn't help. So yeah, he's like, oh, I'll come back in half an hour. I was like, you don't have to. But I didn't sound very convincing. He was like, no, it's fine. I was like, all right, well, we'll see what happens. So then we get there. The guy isn't inside there. I'm there first. But I don't know if it was strategic of me. I feel like I wanted to be there first so then he could come into my domain. Because, like, he was like, oh, yeah, just call me when you're getting into the Uber. But I didn't, like, straight away. So I think I wanted to feel more comfortable, like him coming to me, and I was super nervous, like as in, like I get very nervous as in the shakes, and that's where I was. So, prior to it, I was like, for the date, I was like, I just want us to be messy so I can be relaxed. We're gonna have cocktails, we're gonna chill. I think it was a Thursday night, so we were like, okay, we've still got work tomorrow, so we obviously can't be out for that long. So I was like, if I hate it, my code word is going to be pineapples. And he was like, okay, cool. I think most of the time when I date people, they're used to my dumb shit. So then anyway, I'm just doing my brows a bit. I'm going to try and do, like I said, a skull look. And it's literally just to take pictures of something cute for a brand, but I wanted to kind of do something fun for it, so I'm just putting the base of it. I'm probably not going to finish all of it, but I'll put the pictures somewhere so you can look at it if you want to. So anyway, he comes in and like I'm like, oh hey, and then it's just me talking like I'm super confident, like I'm streaming, and then also us being like playful, whatever. Anyway, we pretty much got comfortable straight away. What should have been like 2 drinks or whatever ended up being so many. And I've got the videos. I don't know how I'm going to edit this, but like I thought this was going to be like a short video, like, oh hey, this is the beginning of the day, whatever. Absolutely not. Like, I've recorded it when he's gone to the bathroom and I'm like, we're 2 drinks in, and then like 3 drinks in, I'm like, hi guys. Usually on a date, if I didn't if I wasn't comfortable, because I pretty much was like cool with him for most of lockdown, and like maybe a bit before that. No, most of lockdown. So I wasn't like, my brow looks patchy. So I wasn't like necessarily like worried about him, but obviously you don't know for sure. And because we hadn't spoken for a bit, you can't be 100% sure. I'd already shared like my location and stuff with my bestie, so like, but still. So, you know, we got comfortable, had drinks, whatever. We got there, this was about 9. It gets to 11, the place is closing. And I was like, all right, do you want to go? And he's like, oh, we could continue the day. And I was like, okay, so he must be feeling me a little bit. But I was like, I'm starving. At this point, it's too late for us to get anything to eat because we've spent so much time, like, faffing about and being in this place. They even had food to eat where we were. But I guess I was trying to be polite, and I wish I wasn't. Like, I was like, I think the nervousness had put me off the food, and also because I thought that I was going to escape, and then I got comfortable. Like, I've literally never been on a date where we're taking shots. Like, it got to that's where we were. We took shots and we were just fucking about. But he did something, and I feel like it awakened my inner Dom with an E. I don't know. So we're sitting there, right? We're talking, and then like, I was talking about my shit nail that had been done. Like, I'd got my nails done. I'd asked for my like I'd asked my nail tech to draw a heart on my my nail, and what she'd drawn was awful, but I felt really bad for her because she'd clearly tried her best, and I was showing him and he held my hand, and I don't know why. Guys, I don't know if it was the rum. I don't know why I did this. But I said to him, I was like, kiss it. Kiss the hand. Like I was royalty. And he did it. So, I don't know what awoke in me. Maybe it's because I haven't been outside. Maybe it's because I'd been feeling like a wounded, like, you know, rat inside. By the way, this is my gel from my eyebrow thing, not dirt. It's just the way that the gel dries on it. So yeah, I was like, oh, tis I. Am I the main character? So then, he did that and I was like, oh. So I don't know, I feel like the vibe kind of got a little bit steamy for me there, not necessarily for him. So then, like, we were like, oh, okay, what should we do? We're going across to, like, Windsor Bridge, and, like, we're talking and stuff, and he's, like, trying to do things, like, put his arm around me or whatever, and we go to the place, and this is where the date gets so funny, but so messy. So, we go to this place, and I don't know what it is. It's in Windsor. I don't know if it's, like, I don't know if it's, like, a funeral hall, a old church, an old ticket hall. I think it's called the Old Ticket Hall, but I wasn't expecting it to be whatever it was. So we go inside. There was one guy outside, didn't even look like it was going to be anything. Heard music by accident. By this time we'd got outside, and I definitely feel like he's feeling me or whatever. Go in there. I don't even know what it was. There's one black guy in the corner with his hat down, looking like it's the beginning of a cowboy movie. And the rest of it is just, like, people that I would never have thought would have been, like, in Windsor. I don't know. They were just, like, just portly older white men. And, like, yeah. And, like, I don't know, some women. And everyone's just kind of looking. And I don't know, we just didn't look like we should be there. But I don't know, I was like, what is this? I feel like we've walked into someone's family gathering, and he's like, it's fine, don't worry. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm always down for adventure. So he gets me a drink, grabs me a Prosecco, he gets like whatever. We're chilling, we're talking, we're vibing. Tell me why I'm sitting in the corner, like, I don't know. At this point, I'm having a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with him, just like talking shit. There's one point we were talking about the socioeconomic factors and impact of like, sex trafficking and like OnlyFans and blah blah blah, and then like and people having the choice to be able to do things and different routes of feminism. Other points, I was just thinking his lap looks like it's, but then again, that was probably the drink. So anyway, so I don't know. He's like looking at me like I'm cake, and he's in Matilda, and Mrs. Trunchbull. That probably doesn't make sense. So, where were we? Okay. We're sitting in the corner. This guy behind the bar, and I hate to make assumptions, so I don't know how to say this. So there's a guy behind the bar. I would not have said that me, as a woman, seemed like I would have been his type. He comes over and he's like, hi. I'm quite sure I've managed to put myself in a nook inside the club. I don't know how else to describe it. It's literally a nook. Maybe he was wondering how the fuck did I fit myself inside there, but he was just like, oh, hey, he was like, I just thought I'd come up and talk to you because, I like your vibe and I like the fact that you fit yourself in the nook. And I was like, this is so weird. I've never been to a bar, or I've never been to a place where like the bar staff have stopped what they're doing. And I was like, it wasn't unfriendly, don't get me wrong. It wasn't in a way that I was like, oh, they don't want us here. It was just it was like so bewildering. And then he was like to us, what did he say? He said something. I feel like he said something like, you're a cute couple or something. And I was like, does he want to bang us? I don't know. It was just very weird. And I said this to my date and I was like, well, that's weird, right? And he was like, yeah, but at that point, he was just, I think he was just on the drink and vibing or whatever, so he was like completely unconcerned about anything. But I definitely was like, okay, I don't know what's going on. And then the guy's like standing behind like the bar and continuously like just smiling and flirting, and I'm like, okay, babe. So then in this bar place, yeah, I see that there's the picture, and I don't understand how I didn't start off with this. I think the trauma from this is just like whatever. I see this picture of this woman who is like behind our head and flowers and stuff, and I'm like, this is super weird, why are there flowers? He's like, oh my god, imagine if this was like a memorial. And I was like, I know. And then I don't know, like the more we were like talking about it, I was like, this is kind of weird. Anyway, the same bar guy is like, oh yeah, that's like, I can't remember, something like Alison, she used to be like a regular I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing at how awkward it was. He was like, oh, she used to be a regular here. And I was like, oh my god, that's so funny. And I say that because I felt awkward. And the more he was talking about it, the more awkward I felt. So the more I was laughing. And the guy that I was on a date with was like, what is wrong with me? And he was like, oh my god, this is not funny. I seem like a horrible person. It was just so awkward. He was like, she passed away. Oh my god, Cass, stop. Okay, I need a moment, guys. It's completely not funny. It's not funny. It's just very awkward. So he's like, yeah, no, she passed away. I can't do this. I can. He was like, yeah, she passed away, and she didn't get a chance to come back. I was like, oh no, what happened? And I said it in a much more like convincing way than that. I am concerned. It's just, I really wish he didn't do this, because obviously I'd been drinking and I feel like his comedic timing was very off. He was like, oh, shit. she had a problem with alcohol, and we thought it would be best to, you know, keep a memory of her here. And I was thinking, the place that had given her all the alcohol decided to have a memorial in the same place. And I was like, okay, that's really lovely. And he was like, yeah, it was just a bit sad over lockdown, because she couldn't come back. And I was like, it was just a really, really weird kind of thing to be hearing whilst on the date, and then trying to feel like everything was normal, but also being like, I don't understand what's happening. This is absolutely insane. So, like, I don't know. We kind of, like, talked about that, but then also kind of had a kiss. But then I kept being conscious of the fact that, like, hey, I think this might be a memorial for someone, and we're also making out on, like, the flowers of this person with her photo there. God help me. So anyway, fast forward, we're leaving, or we leave, and we're, like, outside, and I need to get the Uber, he needs to go. At this point, I want to say it's, like, 1 a.m, 2 a.m, I don't know. Like, we're kind of tipsy, but I've had such a good time. He doesn't want necessarily the night to end, but we're also being sensible in the fact of, like, you know, we need to... I don't think he asked me to go back with him, which is kind of good, but maybe it's because he had work as well. It wasn't like... I didn't feel, like, any pressure and stuff, and I just remember thinking, okay, this is really fucking hot. We're, like, chilling and stuff, like, having a little kiss outside, and the bartender guy comes running out, and then goes to his car, where we're standing beside, and he kind of smiles, and then he's, like, searching, and this is what I find so weird. He's searching in his car, but it doesn't look like he's really searching, and he's just kind of, like, looking at us. And then there's, like, searching, and there's, like, okay, bye. I feel like I missed a sign. I don't know whether he wanted to be, like... was he looking for a threesome? What was going on? I have no idea what that whole thing was, and I still don't understand now. But yeah, so that was date one. That was literally date one. He texted me, like... He was the one that ordered my Uber for me, actually. And then he texted me, like, when I got home. And he was just like, oh... just, you know, like, nice or whatever, and then, like, the next day we texted a bit. I'm trying to think what that... Yeah, so that was a date. Let me see. Okay, what are the updates? So, since that time, we haven't had another date. That was, yeah, so we didn't have another date, and the only time we kind of spoke about it was, okay, so as you know, I'm a screw up and super awkward. I was streaming, telling people about what had happened, and said that I was going to give them, like, do this update, and then whilst I'm streaming, I'm telling them about it, and everyone's like, you know what would be a good idea? And this is where it all starts to go wrong. Why don't you get his idea, his... his opinion of how the date goes. And I think I'm not going to be including that in this series, because that's going to be so messy. Also, yes, I did tell him that I was doing this challenge, and then he was like, oh, if you had told me that... Oh my god, sorry, my cold is hitting. If you had told me that, I would have made sure that this date would have been the best date that you've ever had. I was like, okay, whatever. But inside me, I was like, my legs are open. Anyway, so, yeah, like, we were talking about it. I accidentally fucking call him whilst we're talking about it, and I'm talking about the date, because I'm a clown, and then he's just like, what? And I just think, at this point, and I'm on stream as well, so I lock it off, but I'm like, at this point, this guy must think I'm an idiot, and then he's like, okay, cool, so... I was like, oh, can we get your opinion of what the dates, like, things that you thought, like, what did you think of, like, the place that we went to? What did you think of the experience about going to this, like, memorial thing? Whatever. And then at first he was like, I don't know how I'd feel about it. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said. He said something about, like, oh, I don't know how I'd feel about it. how much detail would you want me to go into? I don't feel comfortable. And then he responded back and he was like, actually, I don't mind. He was like, just tell me the kind of questions that you want. And then I didn't. And then I was like, he said, I don't think I'd feel comfortable sharing any details or saying more than we went for drinks. Maybe show you what I said and I can try and get in the same vibe or level of detail. And I was like, bitch, I hope you never look back at my stream. And then he said, ask specific questions. So he was open to it. And then yeah, so I asked him to set, like, so we were talking. And then I was like, oh, send me a pic, like, later on. I think it was like like the next night or whatever. I had gone out with my friends and I was like feeling mischievous, and he said, sorry, I can't right now. First mistake. After, like, I was talking to him and I think I was being flirtatious, and like he was like, yeah, sorry, I'm sick. And I was like, oh, absolutely not. It just felt like he was blowing me off, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna put my energy into this. So I think that kind of flopped. And I don't know if it was because of, like, the whole situation. But then in between that, he'd message me and he'd be like, why don't I come over and then we can do it together? Like, as in, go through these questions together. So I blatantly felt like he wanted to come over just so that he can, you know. So, yeah, I don't know. He's probably on, like, on the, like, banging, but not on anything else. I don't know. So I've kind of left it. He hasn't asked me for a date since then. The last message that was exchanged between us was that he was like, oh, sorry, I was really ill. I'm still getting better, but at least I've gone back to work. And I don't know, I feel a bit bad now I'm saying it, because, like, he genuinely could have been. But at the time, it sounded like he was blowing me off and I didn't really believe him. So I was just like, okay, cool. Well, I'm glad you're better now. Because I think because of the first experience that we had where he was like, he didn't like it when people get too attached. I've always been really paranoid about him thinking that I was attached to him. Which is all the things that I hate about dating. This is like, if someone doesn't make me feel comfortable to be myself around them, then this is the reasons why I don't speak to them. Because I want to be able to be like, hey, I don't want to worry about whether I'm double texting you or not. Like, I want to do my dumb shit and message you whenever I feel like it, you know? So, yeah, that was what happened. I can't even remember what the initial question was. Did I like him? Okay, yeah, I liked him in the way that I wasn't expecting him to be, like, as, you know, as charming as he was up close and stuff. But obviously, like, I'm probably looking for something different from him than he is. So I think he would easily, like, hook up and then, like, not talk to someone again and would be fine with it. Because even on the date, I knew he wasn't trying to impress me, because he told me that he had hooked up with someone, like a girl, beforehand, and, like, they just did whatever and that was it. And I feel like I don't know, I wasn't getting the vibe that he was worried about, like, you know, anything like that with me, which is fine, fair enough, but ma'am, I don't have time for this. So yeah. But I was happy that I had to date one. I'm glad that I met him, because I felt like we had such a good connection. I felt more confident when I went out, and I felt more confident coming back. And then, like, immediately, like, even when I was on that date, like, my second date, the guy that I was meant to go on date to be continued, messaged me and was like, hey, you want to meet up and stuff. So yeah, that was date one. What was the last question? Was there any questions that I've missed out on it? I think that's it. I'm happy to go back on them. So if I've missed out on anything, or you wanted to know anything or whatever, like, please let me know. Yeah, these videos are not meant to be, like, me doing my makeup. I just happen to be doing my makeup at the same time. Hopefully I'm not going to sound so congested the next time we do a video, and I will look prettier, because I looked like fucking skeletal today with my face, but we gyrate. So yeah, thank you for this. Let the dating begin. Bye everyone. Okay, and I'll keep you updated on the next dates. I'll be posting week 2 and week 3 very soon.